Good morning. Welcome to In Case You Missed It, a project of the Africa Faith and Justice Network here in Washington, D.C. Today we are going to analyze the speech by President Tshisekedi Tshilombo of the Democratic Republic of Congo, a speech which he made on November 6, 2020. With me to do so is Mr. Emmanuel Sekiyoba. Mr. Emmanuel, welcome.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for welcoming me to the edition.
Please, can you introduce yourself to those who are listening?
Thank you. Again, you said my name correctly. My name is Emmanuel Sekiyoba. I am originally from Congo. I was born in the northern side of the Congo, Kivu province, especially in Bunagana. Grew up there, went to the University of Kinshasa. I graduated in 1989 with a bachelor degree in economics. I was a very, very active person in the core of students at university. After that, I came to the US, where I graduated also from two different universities. One is the University of California, Los Angeles, and the other one is the University of Southern Mississippi. Currently, I'm a Nikon instructor at West Los Angeles College here in the metropolitan area of Los Angeles. Thank you, sir.
I know also that you have, you tried to run for a congressional seat in the DRC. Can you tell us about that venture?
Thank you very much for the question. Yes, as I said it earlier, I have been a very, very active community member since I was young at the university. Everybody should, those who are going to be able to look at this conversation, who are in Kinshasa especially, will find out that I'm still alive. I'm okay. I used to run at the university. And here I've been dreaming to go back home and put a dot, just a little dot, helping my country. And in 2018, I was a candidate. I ran for Congress in the district of Rutshuru. I was number 36. It's not that I'm going to criticize the elections, but they didn't call my name. Did I lose? I don't think I lost. Did I win? I think I won, but my name wasn't there. But that's not the matter anymore. I'm preparing for 2023. And that's where things are going to be better, because what happened, the fiasco of 2018, hopefully won't happen again.
Thank you. I don't know if your name was called and you are not sitting, that means you lost. Let's keep going.
Let's make it simple that way. I lost. Yes, I did not win a seat in Congress, which is okay. The most important thing I can tell you, I voted for the current president, and that's something important.
Okay, so you voted for
counted.
You voted for President Felix Antoine Tshidekedi.
Correct.
Very good. So today we are going to discuss the speech by President Tshisekedi. Many Congolese and the international community were waiting for this speech, which was concluding about 3 weeks of consultation with the people. Representatives of different organizations, political parties were invited to talk to the president about what is not going on well in our country. Now, I want to find out whether there is something new that you learned from what he delivered, from the report he gave.
Thank you very much for the question. I'm Congolese. I love my country. And I went through all the regimes, except Kasavubu. I wasn't there. I saw the regime of former President Mobutu. I left when he was still in power, but in serious trouble with the venue of the democracy. He had a very, very nice speech around, I think, September of 1990, where he was calling for democracy. But this is what I call in the language, actual academic language, the illiberal type of democracy, where people can't say anything and so on. And as young men at that time, finishing the university, it was hard in Kinshasa. It was so bad to live in that city. And after I left, they had a war, I think Rwandan army or something like that, invaded Congo, and so on. They had the two regimes, or the father and the son. And now the regime of His Excellency Antoine Felix Tshisekedi Chilombo. Now, let's go back to his speech.
Yes.
I'm going to start by ranking it among the speech I heard since I was young and interested in politics.
Mm-hmm.
It comes neck and neck with the speech the President Mobutu had at the United Nations 1974-73. Even though Mobutu's speech was outside-oriented, talking about foreign policy, Tshisekedi's speech today is a speech that shows a man who's bringing hope to the Congolese, a man who decided to take on 50 or more years of hardship in Congo, trouble. No one of the former president has a care or so shows a feeling that Congo or Congolese could be citizens of other people on planet to live better. He talks about politics. He gathered all the organizations, political parties and so on together. He listened to people, something you didn't see with the regime that was there earlier. He worked to go visit people in hospital. He talked about women. Basically, he touched upon military life, teachers. On that point,
let me push back a little bit. He is not the first president to make a speech that was full of vision of a new Congo. What is it that is gonna be different this time?
Okay, let me tell you that I believe that there will be something different because of what came before the speech.
What was it?
He took the time to call upon political parties, all social organizations, even orphans, those kids called Sheges in Kinshasa, those who do not have where to sleep. He listened to everybody. I know that previous president, all of them had some heaven promising in their speeches, but none of them took that step backward to go listen to the people first, so it can come back and tell us something that meet or that matches what people are feeling. And I'm sure that if we unite as a Congolese, we have that belief like the one he has, we will help him help ourselves move the country forward.
Yes, I want to mention that other presidents have before called for negotiations. And during those negotiations, there were also members of representatives from different different organizations, political parties, and so on. But what's different with this so-called consultation?
Look, you use the word negotiation. Negotiation means that you go there to try to share something, to make deals.
Yes.
Here, he wasn't making deals with people. He was trying to get to know what is going on around. Former presidents, most of them live that they were caged. You know, caged means that they hear from what the security advisor is going to come to tell them, what they're going to hear from the news. But touching on citizens, especially those widows, those orphans, those unemployed, those, remember most of those speeches in the past? Who was invited to be listened to? Ministers, congressmen, basically big bosses, those who are not living the same life as the one he consulted this time.
Now, let's go to specifics. In his speech, he said that he was told that those who embezzle salaries of workers, teachers, soldiers, that crime should be elevated to the level of treason. Now, we know also that there are many ghost workers that have been established, and those who establish them collect those salaries on a regular basis. Is elevating a crime to treason enough a deterrent to make a difference?
I believe that it will be a deterrent. Let me tell you why. This man has been very, very prudent to the point where before he moved forward with tough speeches, he assured himself that he has the lawmakers on his side, which means that now the justice in Congo will be the justice for all, not for some. And elevating the punishment to embezzlement is even lower to what I was, if I was at his place or in his place, it was going to be worse. Let me give you an example.
So you mean elevating the crime of embezzlement to treason?
Yes.
Okay.
It's really treason. It's even more than that, because looking at the case of one of his, head of the staff,
Chief of staff, yes.
Chief of staff, yes, who is now in prison. Look at the facts.
You are referring to Mr. Kamere?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. If really you go back to see or to try to analyze economically for a country like ours, what that chief of staff has done, that's more than treason.
For those who did not follow the case, can you briefly say a little bit what the crime was?
I'm going to say it as just somebody who watched the news without any deep expertise. He was condemned for ordering to use public funds for his own interest. And those funds they were so massive that they could have been a jumpstart for the Congolese economy. Let me give you an example. For example, I heard that he took some money that were predetermined to go build some houses for soldiers. Mm-hmm. And the money went to buy some prefabricated houses in Turkey or somewhere. We have constructors back home. We have people who can build homes. We need to hire those people. We need to give jobs to, how will you prefer to go ahead, give jobs to people in foreign countries where when your own country need each single dime, I'm telling you, to help much as we can to get the country moving. It's very sad.
Now, talking about money, let me bring the case of President Kabila. Recently, in the news, there was a document that was circulating on the internet. Let me see if I can find the document. No, not this one. Stop sharing. It is. Many people might have seen this document, whereas President Joseph Kabila legally is being given benefits that are unbelievably so much. Look, in the month of February 2018, this document shows that he received $430,000 in benefits. The same month, 2 250,000. And this is just a few lines in this document. Per month, this is a total of $670,000 wage a month. In a country where parents are making difficult decisions, whether they need to send the son or the daughter to class, particularly in Kinshasa, I heard that some families, they have to make a schedule who eats today and who eats tomorrow. What do you say about the change that needs to happen? And this kind of behavior is enshrined in the law, the July 2018 law signed by President Kabila himself. Don't you think that such a law should be repealed?
Yes. Simple as that. The law should be repealed, and those people who prepared this law should be prosecuted. Let me tell you why. And the difficulty we're having in Congo, Kabila messed up, but he didn't mess up alone. Those who have been ruling the country for 18 years, they were more of fanatic. People do not have, it's like they didn't have anything to do with the country. They came in to demolish, to destroy, just to make everybody miserable. You talk about people who who have to eat one day after the other. You talk about people who have to schedule the day of getting to get even water. In the city of Kinshasa, there are people who will call the power, the electricity in Kinshasa, what we call in French, the jeu de lumière. It means that it comes today, tomorrow don't have power. You're gonna be sitting with somebody watching TV in Kinshasa, the power goes off, and so it's sad. But now let's go in the villages. Brother, people in Congo until today don't have drinking water. They do not have any road. Talking about sending people to school, kids don't even know what school is in their head. It doesn't exist for 18 years. Now, the major problem of it is that Kabila is not the one who wrote these laws. There are Congolese, those who went to school to learn law, those who had been given a very, very good position in Congo. They're the one who wrote all of these laws to please and praise the one we're calling the Rais. Did you hear that they have a special name for him? More authority.
I have to say that it was heartbreaking to read the law. Not only,
believe me,
not only did they give these nice benefits to the president, but any other person who has headed any department, the generals, the member of the chairman of different institutions, it is just a legal theft. I think it is shameful. In the meantime, the Congo is seeking assistance from donors. I believe it's terrible.
Before you continue, I'm sorry. Let me tell you that the Congolese are rich than the country itself. Do you understand? That people who have money more than the country shouldn't go borrow money from the International Monetary Fund. The country shouldn't go and get some money from the World Bank. There are people who are richer in such a way that if they bring even 10% of what they stole from the country, they can put a dent in the country. They can help. Go ahead, brother. Continue with the question.
President Tshisekedi did mention in his speech that he is forming a new coalition based in new way of governing, a new coalition which is results oriented and based in values. Also, a new coalition that is centered on programs focused on what he heard during the consultation. Now, let's go to the issue of security. They have been in security for a long time. He criticized Kabila of not ending the war. insecurity in Eastern Congo is rampant. In his speech, he only mentioned Beni and Butembo. Are these the only areas where there is insecurity? What about Rutshuru? What's going on in Rutshuru where you were a candidate?
Thank you. I'm feeling sad about that. You know, the insecurity in Congo is everywhere, but taking the Beni and Lubero are the only cases in northern part of Kivu, or in the province of North Kivu, it's sad. And by the way, this comes from the behavior of people from that area. We know that everywhere, Ruchuru, Rugari, if you go in the city of Goma, Goma, for example, there is no, maybe this week, there is no week that passed for the last 2 months without hearing a shooting, killing, somebody kidnapped, and so on. In Ruchuru, kidnapping is every day, killing, destroying people's investments, and so on. But it's really sad. It's really sad. And give me a chance to present the case of people from Ruchuru. I'm sorry. We have to bring this one up. Ruchuru has paid a lot of price, a heavy, heavy price for the freedom of Congo. There are people who do not know that. The Kabila entrance in Congo passed by Ruchuru. How many people died there? Thousands of people. We can call it a genocide against the population there. And let me say it, it's not being a tribalist or tribalist, the way they call it. Hutus have paid a lot of price for the Congo, but nobody talks about it. I understand in Beni, people have been dying there too, and I'm feeling pity. I present my sympathy to them. But Tshisekedi, His Excellency Tshisekedi maybe was not informed correct, and this is why these type of consultations are very, very important. And I hope that after his speech, he gonna stay open to suggestion. For example, we're gonna listen to this conversation we're having together, or somebody gonna listen to it. Somebody gonna go tell him that do not think that the North Kivu has only Beni and Butembo where the trouble is. There is a triangle of death.
Indeed, there is trouble all over the place in Beni. Rightly so, in Beni, every single day, the ADF are killing. They go into villages. They burn families in their homes. They are beheading people. So yes, Beni Butembo has to be the focus of strategic policy in terms of peace. But I wanted to mention that it is indeed, as you just said, it's not only Beni Butembo, but also South Kivu.
Yes.
There are many, many areas where there is insecurity in Minembwe and so on. Masisi. So the challenge of security is serious. Now, let me touch on a very important point. Tshisekedi, when he visited Goma first, after he became a president, he did promise the reshuffle of the military on the front lines because they have been there for too long, and he have heard of the complaints of the population that these people have now become like traditional rulers. They are also infiltrated. They are actually causing the insecurity. The insecurity has become a lucrative business. Generals have big homes and businesses, and no one knows how. Now, the US ambassador to the United States, Mr. Mike Hammer, recently said in Yahoo News that if Tshisekedi wants to succeed, he has to rid of the army corrupt officials. Do you think there will be peace if from within there is no need, there is no vision by the leaders of the military to end the war? instead to maintain it so that they can continue to eat off of it?
Look, I think Tshisekedi thinking about reshuffling is nice. He should think about firing all of them. Give them who machetes, let them go in the forest to go do the job. Look at the past. Most of those military, those who are in the army today, they are the result of the Kabila regime. A Kabila came as what? A rebel. Most of them, the mind is not to go help. Most of them, the mind is go to get richer and richer and richer. They don't care about you and I. They don't care about the poor citizen of Congo. When they like to have those positions, it's a power position. A power position in Africa means what? Money in the pocket. They don't care. And Tshisekedi is saying that he's going to reshuffle them. You know, His Excellency Tshisekedi is really, I don't want to appeal like a fan or somebody. I'm using fact. He is a very, very reasonable person. He likes to see peace everywhere. Somebody else will do something crazy, let me tell you that. Because these people don't want to behave. Look at 2 years of, from 2018 until today. These guys been fighting, trying to fix this, trying to fix that. Now he start understanding. Now it's like, oh, I'm getting it. Let me start with something. You have to shuffle those generals, even to punish some of them. And there's one thing I did not like from some of his past speech, saying that he will not go ahead and research in the past of those people. No, he has to go and check, man.
He has to go back.
He has to go back and check. You were poor 20 years ago. You never opened any small store somewhere. You never had a job in a company and so on. How can you become a billionaire today? Mm-hmm. Did you know that today in Congo there are people flying jets without airports? They never built airports, but they have private jets. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Do you know that people like the one we talk about, the chief of staff, embezzle like thousands and thousands of dollars when the Congo was unable to give $2,500,000 for the vaccine or polyomerate. I don't know how you could say it in English.
Polio. Mm-hmm.
Polio. It's just sad.
It's incredible. Let me go back to the policy proposal that you suggested to fire all these leaders, military leaders on the front line. One of the facts that we've learned about, which the UN missions in the DRC also know about, is that many weapons, if not most of the weapons used by militia groups, have the seal of the Democratic Republic of Congo Army. It is very well known that when a weapon is sold to a country, the manufacturers get the order and then they put the seals for traceability. When the weapons get into the country, given to the unit where the weapons are destined, you can trace who had the weapon and how the weapon was used. But in the Congo, there has never been any process, any effort to link the weapons found on the rebels to the leaders, the military leaders who sell them. How are you going to end peace when indeed your own soldiers are the one selling the weapons to the militia groups?
Excellent question. But as I've been claiming over the radios everywhere, we can fix our problems, man. Seriously. Those militias are our sisters, brothers, and so on. We know them. Those generals, they're so powerful that we're gonna give the president the power to go ahead and take care of them while we're taking care of those little ones who are creating insecurity while working for those generals. Do you know once you cut the head of a snake, the snake is dead? If they want, if His Excellency, Mr. Felix Antoine Tshidekedi want to help us correct the problem back home, he has first to go ahead as you said, maybe nicely to the shuffle. No, he had to fight those guys, put them somewhere in a camp. And now you and I, we will not go to fight. We're gonna use our brain to try to channel those kids, those infant soldiers who are being used as, I don't know, machines for killing brothers and sisters, destroying the family. We're gonna take care of them. We're gonna come up with a program to the insertion program, for example. We're gonna come with a program to collect weapons. We're gonna come with the program to save the area. But we can't do that when there's somebody who's still providing weapon. We can't do that when there's somebody who's powerful than us who can chop even our heads off. What can we do? I want to tell the president that he has to know he is the most popular person in Congo, and he's loved no matter what. Some of those guys will never be happy with anything. This guy, he doesn't need any army. We don't need those generals. The population is already good, a very, very good army to protect him, to help him. Please tell him, if you have a contract with him, tell the Congolese that if you can help us just get rid of the head, the body will take care of it.
Very good. So you want him to use the people as the weapon to rebuild the country. Indeed, he is one man with an inspiring ideas. He can't do this job alone. He needs the people. Let me go back to the issue of insecurity before we go to another point. Many people in Goma are complaining about kidnapping. Goma is Eastern Congo. Civil society organizations have denounced many times that those who are caught, the kidnappers who are caught and put in prison, many times the next day they are freed. The question is, who frees them? And why would they be freed? Why would they be freed?
When you have a sports system, there is nothing you can get from it. The current system should be changed completely. And the president is fighting slowly but slowly. Who are ruling now? Who are those in a position to judge? All of those guys are coming from the same group of crooks. What are you expecting from them? What are you expecting from them? There is one thing positive that the president is doing is maybe outsourcing, even though some of us are coming from outside, are getting there and behave in a way that we did not expect. Resources to save the Congo exists. It's a matter of looking for them and using them right. But if you expect that what we have there right now is going to fix the country, forget it. We have to go ahead and start from, it's not even starting from zero, starting from negative 100. It's really sad. Who are the, I don't have an expertise in law. Who are the head of the court system locally? In Goma, for example. In Kinshasa, things are changing. But in Goma, those people are Kabila's people, right? Those people are the ones who were put there in those 18 years of regime that came in to destroy, to demolish, to kill, to rape, to do everything you can imagine, which are horrible on this planet. And you want those to change? Do you know that most of those kidnappers are working with the current leadership, local leaders? Mm-hmm. Sending them to go ahead, ransoning people on the street.
Indeed, there is a heavy weight to be lifted, but President Tshisekedi is one man, and more work needs to be done by everyone. He mentioned in his speech that he wants to get rid of corruption in education, be it in secondary schools, universities, colleges. But this problem of corruption in our education is very serious because an uneducated or a badly educated nation cannot provide the innovation that is required for a nation to go forward. Now, what needs to be done to make sure our institutions, our educational institutions, are free from corruption? Your take on this issue?
Thank you again. If my memory is good, either it's Mandela or somebody else in South Africa who say that if you want to destroy a nation, destroy its education system. That's it. You know that nothing will come up good in that nation. 18 years of destruction, demolition, and so on. The result is what? People are living as beggars. And who are the big shot? Those who are selling our country to Chinese and so on, collecting money. Generals, starting with the head of the state himself, for the former president, who, by the way, is very, very lucky. Oh my God. Now, how do we stop corruption? Corruption will never stop when people are hungry. There are two levels of corruption. There's physical corruption, looking for food and so on. There's mental corruption. We're going to start with mental corruption. When the president himself gives an example, he's getting paid less than all those advantages. You show me a rule where the former president is pocketing more than $600,000 a month. The current president is living with a salary under that amount. The current president is really giving us example by jailing those who embezzled state money. And now, when you look into a leader as an example, morally you get uplifted. That's one situation. Second, now, he has to think about the common life of peasant. There are those who will not understand him the way he's working. We need to find a way, some help. It doesn't hurt to tell people that, we're hungry, help us. He can get some fund to help us start over and help those who are in need. And that will help us get at least a big start, because people are still because mentally they are ill and materially they are poor. If mentally everybody can look at the president as the example, and physically it means food, people are provided with some minimum to eat at least once a day. I don't say twice, once a day. It will be a beginning. We are the bottom of the scale, my brother. Congo is among the poorest countries on the planet.
It's unconscionable to see a country that is so big and rich, but so
sad.
I hear many Congolese pride themselves. Our country is rich, but what have you done with those riches? That is the question. That is the question. In his speech, President Tshisekedi made the announcement that he is breaking away from the Common Front for Congo, the FCC coalition, and the Cap for Change, because he accuses them to undermine his vision for the reforms. Now, what's next? What's next?
Okay.
Is it enough? Is it enough to break away? And what's going to happen?
I think that he said that once he has been able to dismantle the FCC and the CASH, whatever cashew, I don't know how you spell it, he's going to put together a new coalition called, Union Sacrée. And that coalition is a coalition of people who, I hope, mentally decent to do and to follow his program. The FCC people, let me admit that I have been around them because I ran for a political position, and I'm still in touch with some of them. These people are ill. These people are sick. We have brothers and sisters who are now Congress members. When we ask them, young man, young brother, young sister, old guy, and so on, can you give me one fact that you completed for 2 years since you've been elected? Just ask those questions. Now, you're gonna say that other people could have done something. These people, what they're doing is just to make sure that Felix fails. That's the agenda. Imagine being a politician in Congo. You have been elected by those who trusted you, who said we're gonna act differently. But your plan to go to Kinshasa is to make sure that the president doesn't succeed. And this man had been dealing with them for 2 full years. How patient was he to get them out? And even though today the head of that organization is still saying that, oh, you know what? Let's send all the FCC and so on and that union, union sacre.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna go ahead and try to create problems in it. Can you imagine what level of illness these people are? That's why I said that Tshisekedi, I think he's making a mistake. He thinks he's a priest. Even a priest would not do what he's doing.
He's too much trusting.
Believe me, even I think Jesus was at a certain time obligated to slap people. He should make a decision to get those guys somewhere where they're going to get some mental help. Many of them are sick. 18 years, no road, no school, no running water. Come on, man. What should we do? What should we say again to say that these people from FCC are a bunch of ill guys and girls who should be put in a mental institution?
I saw that President Tshisekedi enumerated everything that is not going well in the DRC as he was reporting back to the people what he heard. Now, we need to understand, the magnitude of so many problems and where should we start? What should be our priorities? If I'm giving you the opportunity to give counsel to President Tshisekedi, if you were a counselor to him, what would you ask him to make a priority?
Let me tell you this. Please make sure you're not trapping me, because right now I can give a thumbs up to his group of advisors. Looking at this speech, looking at what's going on. He started with the law system. He got that one nailed. He is now trying to make justice in Congo. I was talking about law. When I say law, justice system. The justice system now is under his control. That was where, if I was his advisor, that was step one. And he did it before I can tell him what to do. Now he has the bottom chamber of the Congress. Now next will be the top chamber, the senator. We should nail them down too. Then appoint a government that is responsible, a government that will be there to execute the present plan, building roads, basically building infrastructure, roads, hospitals, schools, and try to help those peasants who want to cultivate, give them machinery and so on. Try to find a sector in Congo that will lift us up. And don't come with those people say, oh, let's go to Congo with numeric. You're gonna go to Congo numeric when people don't have water, don't have electricity and so on. Let's start with the basic. The basic of life is what? Food. Let's build a good agricultural system. Let's give people drinking water. Let's give them electricity. Those three things. First of all, water, you know how much water will help us with all those diseases? Clean water. If everybody can get a nice clean water, malaria will be reduced by 50 or 60%. Those other stomach problems, I don't know how to describe them. I'm not a physician. It will be 90% eradicated. And when you have a healthy population is a force, a working force. Now you provide them with infrastructure. By the way, let me tell you something. I'm going to write, if possible, I'm going to put down some ideas to show people that the road, the road has an impact on even tribalism. The fact of building a road from Boma to Goma, from Kasumbalesa to Bikoro, or from Kapanga to Kisangani. If those are done, and me from Bunagana can go ahead, drive and go pass the night in Boma and so on, you'd be okay. I thought about it when I was traveling to Mississippi. I sat there, I said, oh, from LA to Mississippi, it's the US, but how many miles away? Too many miles away. You can leave Mississippi, go live in LA without any problem. Tribalism also is a problem because people don't communicate, don't travel, don't meet each other.
Indeed, I heard him speak about the need to appoint people who are non-original, who are born in different provinces, to appoint them to positions of power in different positions, which is indeed a recognition that in Congo, tribalism is a serious problem, and exclusion was also part of the challenges he did mention. I want to thank you so much, Mr. Emmanuel, for taking your time to be with us today. Certainly come back, and we continue to engage with you on issues not only of Congo, but also of international significance. Thank you so much for your time, and have a wonderful afternoon.
Thank you too for giving me a chance to come and express my ideas and contribution. Next time we're gonna do better than this. We're gonna prepare ourselves. We have to be the real advisor and the real citizen going to build our own country, the Congo, not leaving it to one man who is just one person. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.